I hope to God that eventually we find out that maybe Caitlin Clark was asked to do this and maybe she said no. Because if that's not the case, then the WNBA and the Players Association, the WNBA PA, and the league, to be honest, continue to disrespect the far and away biggest draw that this women's hoops league's got that they've ever seen.
Imagine dominating the league, breaking records, packing arenas, redefining the game, and still getting overlooked for a major merch drop. That's exactly what happened to Caitlin Clark. The WNBA Players Union chose Aya Wilson and Angel Reese instead, and the internet is absolutely losing it. Is this a calculated power move, a petty slight, or just a PR misfire wrapped in team spirit? Whatever it is, the drama is real and the spotlight's hotter than a courtside seat.
Jealousy and sheer incompetence are going to be the three main reasons why the WNBA never reaches the popularity, never reaches the shine that they think they deserve. Stubbornness, incompetence, and jealousy are going to be the reasons why Caitlin Clark remains at the mountaintop and nobody else ends up even being close to joining her up there. And it's all the WNBA, the players, the executives, Kathy Engelbert. It is all their fault. They're far too jealous. They're far too stubborn. And from a business sense, they are all far too incompetent. What am I talking about?
They could have just handed Caitlin Clark the crown, a throne, and a warehouse stocked with sold-out merch. But instead, the WNBA Players Union pulled a move so blatant it practically shouted, "We'd rather sink the ship than let her steer it," when they launched their shiny new merch campaign and conveniently left out the league's biggest ticket seller, maybe ever. It wasn't about strategy or oversight. Everyone knew what time it was. Not prime time. Not endorsement o'clock. Nope, it was petty hour, served with a heavy side of performative unity.
Biggest draw, their biggest revenue churner, the biggest ratings, viewership draw, attendance draw, the whole, if it's a draw, Caitlin Clark's bringing them in droves, and lined up to come in the door. I'm awaiting a record, some kind of a record rating for her return the other day against the Liberty. I'm awaiting for that viewership rating to come in for television. I got a question. If you were going to market a product and the WNBA was going to be officially involved in it, would Caitlin Clark not be the #1 overall draft pick that you would have? Well, to the Players Association and the people involved with it, I guess not. And this is baffling to me. It's terrible business. It is failed business.
Let's get one thing straight. Caitlin Clark didn't pass on the deal. She didn't ghost anyone. And she definitely wasn't too busy draining logo threes or signing baby onesies. She was never even invited. Because if she had been part of that merch rollout, her gear would have sold out before most people finished their coffee. And the rest, likely left sitting in carts and wish lists, like that one lonely gum flavor nobody actually wants but somehow still exists.
NBA Players Union chooses Angel Reese over Caitlin Clark in social media posts. Now, to be fair to Angel Reese, it wasn't just Angel Reese. It was everybody not named Caitlin Clark. It was everybody the old guard thinks is a star, not named Caitlin Clark. This is absolutely pathetic, absolutely embarrassing, and we are going to show you why momentarily. WNBA's Players Union chooses Angel Reese over Caitlin Clark in social media post originally appeared on Athlon Sports. Indiana Fever guard Caitlin Clark and Chicago Sky forward Angel Reese have not exactly had fortunate starts to the 2025 WNBA season.
And there lies the real problem. It's not that Caitlin Clark is too controversial or too new. It's that she's too successful. Her jersey's flying off shelves like limited edition Beyoncé merch. She's packing arenas, doubling TV ratings, and shifting the entire media landscape. The optics, Impeccable. The economics, even better. But the emotions, that's the landmine. Because if Caitlyn's merch sells out in seconds while others sit untouched in digital limbo, the narrative shifts. It's no longer about unity. It's about undeniable reality. And that reality challenges the comfort zone. That's what they're really trying to avoid.
I'm just in shock. I'm in shock. So you've got a lot of the biggest names in the entire WNBA here. You've got Aja, you've got Kelsey Plum, you've got Paige Beckers, you've got Angel Reese, you've got Fee, you've got Cameron Brink, you've got Sabrina. So you've got a lot of the bigger names, if not the biggest names. The biggest names in the entire WNBA right here. And who's not there? It's Caitlin Clark. If you guys have not seen this right here, FM Cases and the WNBPA. The WNBPA. So this is 3 days old. I got sent this email today. I actually, in fairness, I did see a tweet, not including the most popular player. This is how much they hate Caitlyn Miss.
So instead of embracing the rising tide that could lift the entire league, they acted like the tsunami didn't exist. Genius. It's like throwing a pizza party and leaving out the cheese so you don't offend the crust. Newsflash. The crust doesn't carry the flavor. Caitlyn is the flavor. And the league just tried to convince us that flavor doesn't matter if it's not politically convenient. This isn't about who's black, who's white, or who can dunk in warm-ups. It's about what happens when excellence shows up outside the pre-approved storyline. When someone storms past the gatekeepers with raw talent, relentless work ethic, and a sniper's aim from the logo, and the establishment freezes, unsure whether to applaud or hit the panic button, it's not that they didn't see Caitlin Clark coming. It's that they never wanted her to arrive. And now that she has, they're tripping over themselves trying to ignore her impact without admitting she's already changed the game. So what's the strategy? Apparently, it's passive-aggressive exclusion with a touch of corporate cowardice. Aya Wilson and Angel Reese got the nod. Sure, they're skilled, marketable, and have real fan bases. But let's not pretend this omission wasn't loud and intentional.
The exact abuse that they're giving Caitlin Clark right now to Sabrina Ionescu. Like, let's be real, you can look. If you read what some of these things have said about Sabrina Ionescu before Caitlin Clark walked in the league, but now they have the new bully victim. And it's so funny looking at it where you're like, all these, it's so clear that these people, it's just an anti-Caitlin people, because it's like an enemy of my enemy is my friend, where it's like they are these individual pages where you look at the players they hype up, and Paige Beckers, and by the way, by all accounts, Paige Beckers and Caitlin Clark are friends. They'll have their profile's Angel Reese, and the players they're going to hype up is Paige Beckers because she's a rival to Caitlin Clark. And let's be real, that's an actual rivalry. Paige Beckers is really damn good.
But let's not kid ourselves. This decision was engineered to keep the merch field balanced, even if it meant sidelining the one player who would have outsold everyone else combined. Because heaven forbid a rookie white girl from Iowa make the rest of the numbers look like clearance racks. And that's the real tragedy here. This isn't just a missed marketing opportunity. It's a mirror reflecting the league's own insecurities. They say they want growth, visibility, and revenue, but only if it fits their narrative. Caitlin Clark doesn't follow that script. She showed up, dropped buckets, shattered records, and in doing so, accidentally exposed the system's cracks. And instead of riding that momentum, they're trying to sink the ship while smiling for the cameras. This isn't chess. It's flipping the board mid-game and calling it a checkmate. The league can dress it up as diversity, representation, or whatever buzzword makes the exclusion sound noble. But fans saw it. They felt it. You don't bench your MVP in the name of inclusion. That's not strategy. It's sabotage wrapped in sentiment. And let's not ignore the quiet message sent here. Be great, but not too great, not too fast, and definitely not too loud.